Good morning, Anthony and Tara. So today we will cover some more information in your retirement analysis. Today we will look at both of your pension plans, some differences between them, and some different numbers that we need to take into consideration as we navigate through this process. So first we will look at Tara's pension plan and the calculations that correspond with it. So Tara, you are currently on a defined benefit plan, and this is an employee-sponsored plan that guarantees a specified benefit amount, or what we would call a monthly pension amount at the employee's retirement date. And this plan is in place to provide a adequate level of retirement income to each employee, regardless of age at the entry of the plan. So some of the key features to note within this plan are that first, workers do not have an individual account balance with this plan, and that is what we would call then a defined contribution plan. Second would be that workers do not make any investment choices within this plan. And then third is that workers often assume that their retirement is set in this plan, but that's actually not true. So if you were to leave your employer before your normal retirement date, there could be significant loss of retirement benefits. So Tara, we just need to be aware that, if you want to retire this year or retire early at all, you could be subject to that loss. Now, looking at the calculations, Tara, your employer uses the formula final average salary multiplied by 2%, which is set by your employer, multiplied by your years of service for determining that benefit amount. So if we use that formula to calculate your pension at age 65, we can see that you will receive $54,000 annually. And I got this number by taking, like I said, that final average salary, which would be 90,000 multiplied by 2%, which is set by your employer, and 30 years of service, which comes from you working 15 years at the firm and then being 15 years from age 65. And then another scenario that we wanted to look at was what would happen if you earned 6% on your contribution all the way up to retirement, 4% in retirement, with a life expectancy of 95. And with that, I discovered that your employer would have to contribute about $934,000 over the next 30 years, or roughly $11,800 annually. And if you would like to see a step-by-step process of how I put that all together, I can definitely forward you those calculations and walk you through that after we meet today. But also keep in mind that this contribution reflects a $0 balance at the end of your life, meaning you live until 95, and if you were to pass before that, you would still have money left over. All right, now we will shift to Anthony. And Anthony, you have what we would call a money purchase pension plan, and this is a defined contribution plan in which an employer makes annual mandatory contributions to each employee's individual account. While the amount of final benefit isn't guaranteed or promised, there is an employer promise to contribute to the plan for each year. The maximum contribution in this, and all defined contribution plans for 2020 actually, is the lesser of 100% of the eligible employee's compensation, or $57,000. Also, the maximum covered compensation that may be considered for a participant in the plan is limited to $285,000. And lastly, the deduction for employer contributions is limited to 25% of the aggregated covered compensation. And I thought it might be helpful to briefly explain to each of you the difference between a cash balance plan and a defined benefit plan. So a cash balance pension plan is a type of defined benefit plan that includes features of a defined contribution plan as well. So instead of having actual individual accounts with the worker making the investment decisions, like a defined contribution plan, a cash balance plan would provide for annual employer contributions at a specified rate to a hypothetical individual account. But like other defined benefit plans, all investment decisions are made by a fiduciary employed by the plan. And Tara, in your case, your employer could possibly benefit from something like this, because then employees would have more freedom in their investment decisions while still being overseen by that fiduciary. Another plan that we were going to discuss today is a target benefit plan. So a target benefit plan is a qualified defined contribution pension plan in which the employer contributions are made for each participant in an actuarially determined amount to reach a targeted benefit at the specified normal retirement age. So in a target benefit plan, the plan designer chooses actuarial assumptions only in the first year of operations to determine how much must be contributed for participants entering the plan at various ages. And for easier explanation purposes, I've included a brief overview of the defined benefit plan, the money purchase pension plan, and the target benefit plan that we have discussed today, just so you have the main points there to distinguish between them. And like I said before, if you have any questions along the way when you guys are kind of reviewing this stuff, I'd be more than happy to answer those questions for you. So hopefully I've cleared up anything that you had questions about prior to meeting this week. And as always, please reach out to me if anything needs clarification or if you need some of those calculations for yourself. Thank you once again for trusting me in this process, and I look forward to guiding you both through it in these next coming weeks. Thank you.